Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, July 20th, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I align my actions with my good feelings. A little redundant, but keep finding ways where you can align your actions with what feels good, what feels expansive within you. I think this is really important on so many levels. Today's astro has such a strong spiritual component to it, but as I was saying the energy mantra, I was thinking of a Rumi verse that's basically like, don't move the way fear makes you move the way love moves you. And I think keeping that in mind always, but definitely specifically for the next few days, will be very supportive. So that being said, we have a strong spiritual energy supporting us today. We have the sun. I don't know if you heard the dinging in the background, but it was like, yes. We have the sun and Neptune connecting, and we have Mars and Saturn connecting, and then we have the moon moving into Virgo and connecting with Saturn and Mars as well. So the Mars-Saturn energy is what I'm really kind of focused on for today. Now, it's an opposition, and in an opposition, we can find ourselves in a tug of war, or we can find ourselves finding balance and working with the energies together. And that's what I think we're being called into, specifically today, is finding how can we work in the realms of Virgo and Pisces. And what was coming through was just a message around the importance of living your life here on earth according to spiritual law. More Rumi verses popped in with that. Out beyond a field, or out beyond right doing and wrong doing, there's a field, and I'll meet you there. To me, that's where spiritual law exists. It's beyond the alleged moral compass of living on this planet, and instead, it's soul compass. It's connected to the universal laws of spirit. It's connected to the universal laws that are constantly unfolding for us, but that we're not really taught, whether it's in religion or school, but are guided by regardless. So in today's astro, it's a reminder that while you are moving in the physical, Mars in Virgo, we are being guided so much by the spiritual, whether we are aware of it or not. And if we can become conscientious of the spiritual, if we can recognize the spiritual within our physical and move in that alignment, then we find balance. Then we find harmony instead of moving by the ego or moving by, the shoulds of the world. So working in and through this balance is part of these astro energies. Now, this is such an interesting time because we have Pluto squaring the nodes, and Pluto it can be a power play. And so you may be feeling that. And I think it's a power play that powers that be in the world will take to establish law, to establish rule that maybe goes against the spiritual rules or the spiritual laws, and that can challenge us in and of ourselves, because we will try to be good citizens and find yourselves not in alignment. So you may notice some of that coming to the forefront. We are building into that Mars-Pluto opposition happening tomorrow, happening on Friday. And so that's going to pull on these energies, as is the nodal connection that's happening. In being out of alignment with spiritual law, we find ourselves out of balance within as well. And I do believe that part of working with the nodes now in Aries and Libra is finding that balance within ourselves, which means finding the balance between our physical human selves and our spiritual self. I keep hearing Sting singing, we are spirits in a material world, or something like that. I'm also hearing Madonna now. So welcome to the Mimi Jukebox. So today, in addition to this Mars-Saturn energy, We have the Sun and Neptune connecting in a trine. And this is also feeding into the yachtiness. So the Neptune portion of the yacht, the potential for illusion, but the potential to use your illusion is very strong. In fact, we have the Dream card on the top, and this card is a card that reminds us we can dream what we love into being. And that may be part of this Venus retrograde that we're going into, to be creative, to remember what we love, and to feed that energy, to bring it into fruition, right? That's part of using spirit in the physical, is to do just that. So very strong, intuitive energy with that. Listen to your intuition. It is guiding you. The moon and Venus will connect before it moves into Virgo. It's going to move into Virgo at 10:13 a.m. Pacific time. So moon and Venus, the moon can sometimes bring forth hidden energies. You may get, again, another taste of what this Venus retrograde is bringing up for you. So listen, you may have some uncomfortable feelings. That's okay. You don't necessarily have to go there. You have to recognize that this might be showing you that something is off. There's something that you can shift. There's something you can heal. And I think that we're going to have a lot of worthiness stuff come up over the next 40 days, essentially. I actually posted a Tosha Silver card, the Worth card, on my Instagram, so you can go check that out, because it's just a reminder. You are of the divine. You are inherently worthy, and you never have been anything less, and you never could be anything less than 1,000, 1 bazillion, 1 infinity percent worthy. So, after the moon and Saturn reach their opposition, like I said, the moon is going to feed into those energies. The moon in Virgo could get you into the place of mentalism, overly mentalizing, overly focusing, getting critical. Recognize that and see, how does this support you? And see if there's a different way that you can flip the thinking to a more holistic way, to a holy way, to a way that supports you. That being said, as the moon works with both Saturn and Mars, again, there may be some stuff coming up, especially with the moon and Mars supporting the build into Sun and Pluto. The angst may surface. Don't move the way the angst wants you to move. Move in a way that is tender for you, tender and balancing. Speaking of balance, I think today is a day of working our way back into balance. I have the Abundance card in reverse. This card is about finding your spiritual and physical self in balance, enjoying the earthly realm while recognizing yourself as fully divine as well. So we're a little out of balance, but the Astro is working us to there. I also have to say I have the Lovers card in reverse. Intensity is rising. You know, it's not the easiest time for a relationship, and yet look to see what these mirrors are showing you about yourself. Rather than pointing the finger, there is so much healing that can be done over the next little transit. So much baggage recognized, and so much movement towards the light. So I'm going to leave that there for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and remember who you are. How's that one? We're going to figure out what this North Node Aries sign-off is. Namaste.